congratulations to you, which makes this conversation even more timely. So our conversation today, and as I started doing last week, it's going to be a discussion as if I was live from my Facebook page for my practice. And then Dr. Brian Dooley, my partner in crime here, he is going to do it as well, as if he were live from his practice. So the idea is that I've been going live every evening. Tonight's going to be a little bit earlier, just to give you something to model. And I just want to say to those of you who have been messaging me and letting me know, hey, thanks so much. It really makes a difference, like being able to just watch yours and then do it. Thank you so much. I think that this COVID thing has taught me, or I think reinforced now more than ever, just how important gratitude is. And I just want to let each one of you know that sends me a message or sends me a note or a text or whatever and says, you know, when you say thank you for doing these, you keep me going and make me excited to do them each and every day. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let us know when you join us, where you're joining us from. If you have any comments, throw them in the comment section and we'll be sure and get to them. So Dr. Brian, welcome.
Thank you. So good to be here.
I think since our last conversation, you had a wedding anniversary.
Yes, number 25. Hard to do. Our original plan, because my wife also turns older this week, and so we had planned originally we were going to go to Italy. That went down to an Alaskan cruise, so we were going to honk when we sailed by your place. Then we were going to go to Charleston, South Carolina for a weekend because we have a wedding to pay for this year as well. And then the business hit the fan. And so it was pretty cool. I got home. There was a sign on the door for Trattoria Dooley, a nice Italian restaurant. And then she had arranged, she went out, supported one of the local restaurants. So we picked up some food, and then my son dressed up, had his suit coat on, and he was our server for the evening. So I gave him a nice tip, and it was good. It was good that what it reminded me of was the days when we didn't have any kind of money, and we just made, there's the beautiful naivete of being young at times. And so while we knew that we didn't have any and we wanted to have some money, right? It's nice to do things like eat and pay for your car and go on vacations. But it was great. So we had a nice dinner. It was our 25th anniversary, and we were able to just enjoy life kind of like it was back when we were in that nice, naive, youthful time. So yeah, it was a beautiful evening. Thank you for mentioning.
That's nice. Well, tell Don we all said a happy young birthday too.
I promise.
When that time comes this week. And Nancy said, New York, seeing patients, numbers plummeted and still slight gradual buildup. Keep going, girl. And this is something I really want to say to all of you. If this was your brand new practice, and let's say like you're finally getting cranked up this week, or let's say you've just been like kind of humming along, what would you do? Like, would we be disappointed if we weren't seeing very many right now? And would that make us like kind of retreat? Or would we all just think like, hey, like I just got to go out and meet more people and build those relationships? And so I just want to encourage all of you, like the pre-frame and the context that we can put ourselves in, like we have 100% control over our emotions, makes such a difference. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying you don't have to do like these little games in your mind. I am 100% saying it's worth it. So I encourage all of you to take on the context and take on the perspective that you have a brand new practice. And then that way, all of the extra work that we have to do in order to get things up and going. And even, what if instead you decided, May, COVID or not, is going to be my best month I've ever had in my practice. We'd all be willing to bust ass and do what was necessary. And the cool thing, if you've been in practice, is now you're starting with a database. Reach out and touch your people and ask them, how they're doing and invite them in for a checkup. They've been waiting to hear from you. Even if you talked to them last week, they want to hear from you again. It's really interesting. My husband and I have some older friends that we have boated with, and he passed away in January. And so we went down to check on their yacht for him this weekend. And on the way back, we sat on the porch and talked to Kathy, who had lost her husband. And she hadn't seen anyone for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, because he passed away and then COVID hit and da-da-da-da-da. And she just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And meanwhile, like, we had a million things that we needed to do, but we both just felt like, nope, you know what? God's put us right here at this time. And she just needs someone to talk to. Like, she doesn't have family up here. And obviously she can't get on an airplane and go somewhere, and she's in her 80s. And so it just reinforced in my mind that a lot of people are really lonely right now. And that includes our practice members. So please reach out to them. Sarah said, I love building relationships. You are very good at it, Sarah. Nancy says, calling patients every day to give a friend check-in. They didn't realize that I was open. And that's another thing. It's Monday. Like, every Monday, give an open report. Like, hey, everyone, I've been open for the last 25 years, but I want to let you know this Monday, doctor is in. Do the little Snoopy, Charlie Brown,
Sure,
the doctor's in thing. All right, so Brian, I'm going to have you take it first. So it's as if you are doing a 2 to 3 minute Facebook Live from your Facebook page for your practice members, answering the question or discussing the question of, is chiropractic care essential?
Okay. Hey, everybody. Dr. Dooley coming at you this afternoon. And you may not know it, but we are open. We've been open. Chiropractic has been considered essential by Governor McMaster here in South Carolina. What does essential mean to you? We are essential not just for your neck and your back pain. We are essential because we are here for you as a member of your community. We believe in this community so much. There was no way that we could take the time off to not be here for you, to give you the chiropractic care that will enable you to handle all of the different types of stresses we've all never seen before. And there's no better way to handle stress than with a nervous system that's functioning at 100%. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all the people in Pickens. When you feel safe coming to the office, the doors will be open and we will be waiting for you. Thank you.
I love that. I love it. I love that you started with, hey, just want to let you know, we are open. Tell them at the very beginning, this is what's happening. All right. So you can take that approach. Another one would be potentially, hey, everyone, Dr. Bard coming to you. I get asked, and it's been all over the news, what's essential and what's not essential, and specifically for chiropractic care. Is chiropractic care essential? So guess what? I think you have to make that decision for you, but let me put it in terms of a context for you to consider for you and your family. Is it essential for you and your family to have the confidence that your body is well, that your body is functioning at its optimum capacity, so that when you're around other people, your defense, your immune system is strong, so that when you're around other people, and maybe there's like all kinds of new stressors, like a friend of mine came over today and we hadn't seen him for a while, and normally it would be a hug, and it was just kind of like this awkward kind of thing. Well, that creates a whole different kind of stress response for us and awkwardness. So in asking yourself, is chiropractic care essential? Well, is it essential to sleep well? Because as you know, one of the awesome side benefits of regular chiropractic care is great sleep. Is it essential for your body to be able to process stress to the best of its ability? Chiropractic care helps you process stress better than anything else you can do. Is it essential for you to be able to get out and move and feel good outside? Chiropractic care is essential for those who want to move their body. Is it essential that when there are a million things going on around you and you're trying to focus on work, you're trying to focus on school, is it essential that you can do so? If yes, then chiropractic care is most assuredly essential for you. So chiropractic care is essential for those who want to live well. The other thing that is important to consider about chiropractic care is that we are, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, awesome at helping those who have back pain and neck pain. So if your neck has been hurting, your back has been hurting, you've never been to a chiropractor, and normally you would run to the emergency room or you went to urgent care to get a muscle relaxer or painkiller, I'm telling you, you're going to love life on chiropractic care way better than the side effects that are associated with those kinds of drugs. So I invite you and those that if you've never been to a chiropractor before, let's chat. Let's see if it's essential for you, if it's a great step for you to take in order to live your life well. So call my office right now. We'll schedule a checkup. It involves a comprehensive chiropractic exam, neurological tests, orthopedic tests. We're going to talk about your health history, talk about the goals that you have for your health and the kind of lifestyle that you want to lead. And then when you come back the second day, I tell you exactly what I find out and give you a customized care plan. If I can help you, I'll tell you. And if I can, I'll let you know that too. So 2 different options. Obviously, mine was a little bit long-winded. I think the important thing in all of this is to be authentic. When you're discussing things that could go one way or the other, being a leader involves authenticity. Being a leader means standing up for what you believe in and saying what you believe in, not to make sure every word is perfect, but instead, this is what I know. This is what I believe. This coming Friday, Rich Christensen and Thursday, we're doing a webinar on how to create vision beyond COVID-19. And I think as a profession, we talk a lot about vision, but I'm not really sure most of us understand, what does it mean to cast a vision? What does it mean to help the people who are depending on you to cast out there of where are we going? Why are we doing this? And it has to do with our ability to be a leader as well. Brian, what are you seeing in and around your community as it relates to leadership with COVID?
People are worried one way or the other. People are worried because their freedoms are being taken away. People are worried because they feel that that's necessary and they get concerned. So you have the people that don't think anything's wrong and that's horrible. Then you have the people that think everything's wrong and that's horrible. And who's right? Well, we don't know. And so you can sense the uneasiness in town. I think people are really wanting to get back to whatever life is. You can't say normal because it's going to be different just because we have the memory in our mind or the experience. So what they're looking for a lighthouse in the stormy water is what they're looking for. And so when we, as the chiropractor, I've been saying since this whole thing started that we're in the adaptation business, and that's true, but we're also in the connection business. So we adjust our patients, we check our patients so that the nervous system is connecting all the pieces. And the nervous system, I guess, that's connecting town is all of our relationships with people. And so I've been working really hard, oddly enough, so making the most of it. So my practice is down as well as many people's are. So what do we do with that opportunity? So for me, it's been the opportunity to give some money to local restaurants, local businesses to support the hospital workers so that are stuck. And they have it worse than we do. They really do. To support the teachers, to support truck drivers, to, grocery store people, the folks that are still out. And that's probably been the easiest thing to do, was just walk across the street to the coffee shop and give, in my case, it was $150. Even if it was $5, that's all you could afford. And you give it to one person. Doesn't even have to be a worker. Just say, you know what? I want to give $5 to the next person that comes in to buy a coffee. So just offering the fact that, you know what, we're here, and we're here in a bigger way maybe than you thought. And so it was interesting when all this started going down. I hit some button on Facebook that put my website out, and I get a response that this is not the time for an ad. Well, it is actually. And I'm not doing an ad. I'm just letting people to know, listen, I'm available. I am about the community of Pickens County, South Carolina, being connected in some way as well as possible. And if you want that service, it's here. The interesting point, if you come right now, so I'm in my office bringing you this Facebook Live from Pickens, South Carolina. But if you look, there's nobody else on my street, which is Main Street, that's open past 5 o'clock. I'm the only one whose open sign stays on. And I don't say that to say, look at me, look at me, look at me. I say that to tell my patients, you know, no matter what, we're going to be here for you when you are ready. This is one of those situations, argumentatively, you might use your normal practice management systems when people aren't in. Where are you at? Just 5 minutes. Did we forget something? And blah, 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 blah. And you go through your system. But I loved what somebody said where there was a friend check-in. That is such a wonderful idea. Not that we want to be friends with our patients, but, you know, we can create a relationship that, hey, we care about you. You know, it's not just about your $40 or whatever your adjustment fee is, that we do care about people, because I've had the same thing where people, I didn't know what you were doing with all this. Well, yeah, we're open. Do we have your email? Do we have your, you know, do you mind getting the cell phone reminders? Because we will tell you if we're open or if we're not. And if somebody chooses not to come in, I highly agree. Put out the information of why it's essential, and then let them make the choice, because at the end of the day, it's their choice. So here, it's been about keeping some of the relationships alive. So I've actually formed new relationships with people, which has been really pretty cool. It was nice that as I went across the street to grab my lunch from the coffee shop today, one of the medical doctors at the emergency room shouted at me across the street, "Thanks for the coffee." And so he and I know each other, but we don't chit-chat that often. Mm-hmm. But that's what relationship does. When things are in good relationship, it just creates a better experience. And that's what it is for our patients, because when their cells are in the relationship with their innate intelligence, life is freaking great, man.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to encourage all of you, if you're worried to say that, you know, you being open or your practice is essential, or taking that stand because what if it offends somebody? You know what? I mean, sometimes the very fact that you're breathing is offensive to somebody. So I would take a stand for those. Like Nicole said, my patients are so grateful that I'm open.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. They're so grateful because we are essential. We are essential to them. And it's the adjustment plus the relationship. It's the adjustment plus the smile. It's the adjustment plus, like, at least there's something in my life that's like it used to be, right? Like, I'm not going to work like I used to. My kids aren't going to school like they used to. My spouse is working from home, but at least wise, I'm coming to my chiropractor, and I've always been coming to my chiropractor. And so I just encourage all of you, really consider the context by which you're presenting your message to your community, whether you're talking about innate intelligence or is chiropractic care essential, because people are looking for how to identify that. So by listing off, like, these are all of the ways that chiropractic care is essential to me. Now, could that be, is it personal? Yeah. Just like some people don't believe and don't operate that supplementation is necessary, that a healthy relationship with your spouse is essential, that, you know, living for, you know, earning an income that exceeds your daily requirements is essential. I'm saying for me and my family, this is what is essential. For me and my practice members, this is why chiropractic care is essential. So I just want to encourage all of you, like, take a stand. And if you've been wishy-washy, who you were is not who you are, and it's definitely not who you're becoming. And I've talked to several of you who have said, I just don't know what's wrong with me. Like I used to be the person that always got stuff done. And this COVID thing just has me sitting back on my heels and I've just become so lazy. Here's Mama Boot Camp coming to you. Like snap out of it. Enough already. Like it started a while ago. Get over yourself, get your ass in gear, serve your community and be that leader. Like if you had the habits back then, you can develop them again right now. You can take action, immediate action right now. So start with 3 small steps every day to move forward. Heck, do this Facebook Live. Like nothing that Brian and I just went over is like revelation. It's not new to any of you. The difference is we're on camera sharing the message, and I'm asking all of you to do the same. Take action. It's like we can't just keep saying, I'm so frustrated, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know. Yes, we do know. This is how life is going to be for a little while. So operate with what we do know. This is what we know. And we know that there's so many ways that we can still engage with our community and make a lasting impact in so many people's lives. So Brian, anything else you have to say?
I had some pretty cool. So I have a patient today who just gave birth to, a 5-pound, 9-ounce child, very small, freaking out. But because I was open, I'm able to start the conversation. She's like, I want to bring him in, but he's so small. And so we were able to have the conversation of how I would take care of somebody that small. So no, she did not bring the baby in at that moment, but the conversation started. It's essential that this kid that's 5 pounds, 9 ounces, who's fragile, not frail, but fragile, that has a nervous system that's working. So let's start that conversation. I think about the police officer who says, man, I've been talking you up so much because I haven't had a headache in 2 weeks. I'm feeling so much better. My wife wants to come in. My grandfather wants to come see you. And I think of the lady who came in last week who her husband came and saw me, and then he decided he doesn't want to come in after his initial care plan. Fair enough. That's his choice. But she's like, oh, he needs to come back because he's not grumpy when he's under care with you. So do you think we're about connection and being essential? Oh, hell yeah. And so when I hear those stories, how can I not be open? Mm-hmm. Now, bear in mind, I understand whatever it is in your state, right? What's legal is legal. So I get all that. And we have to adhere to that. But if there's the opportunity, and here's the thing, I don't care that the coronavirus is here or not. If there's an opportunity for me to be the vessel of chiropractic that gives the connection to these people's lives, who am I to sit at home and not do anything about it? And so if I have the opportunity, I have the ethical responsibility to do it. And so every day of my life, I have a choice that I can get out of bed or not. Mm-hmm. I get it. Some days we need a mental health break. Understand that totally. But every day in my life, I've got an opportunity to create a better connected humanity, at least in my corner of Pickens County, South Carolina. And honestly, I think that this whole COVID thing has just settled in how even more important and essential I actually am in order for that to happen. So thank you to Chiropractic for giving me the opportunity to do my life's work in a way that is wholly essential. For the health of my community. And so I'm so grateful to Chiropractic for giving me that. And I've been able to do some pretty cool things over the last 4 or 5 weeks that I haven't been able to do so far. So it's opened up the world for me a little bit. And that's pretty sweet. And so we have the most incredible profession on the planet.
Yes,
and that's really all I got to say. I mean, I'm getting so excited. I might run around I won't run real fast because I don't do that anymore. But I'm kind of want to just go out and just I'm just feeling, I haven't had a cup of coffee in quite a while, but I am juiced up right now because of the opportunity that we have just to talk about chiropractic and deliver it and create better connection with humanity. If there's a time that humanity is so thirsty for a different way and thirsty for connection, now is it. And because what's going to happen when the next one shows up? So that's the next shift in marketing, right? Keeping ourselves essential and keeping them essential to handle the craziness in their lives. And that's what chiropractic does. So yay for us.
And I think one thing that is so important is to be part of the solution. Don't be on the sidelines anymore. If you watch the game from the sidelines thus far, it's time to engage. Like, get in there, be on the field, be making the plays. Then you have control. At least Weiss can exercise some control out of the outcome, which is another reason why chiropractic care is so essential, is that we help individuals be a part of the solution instead of on the sidelines living in fear. That they know that their nerve system is strong. They know their immune system is strong. They know that that as a result of being under regular chiropractic care, my body's at its best ability to be well. So I can be an essential part of the course correction of this thing. So
right.
To all of you, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please let me know if there's something specific that you want to discuss in an upcoming Facebook Live. I was just going to tell you, so tomorrow's is going to be, what is the number one mindset difference that you notice you possess that those around you do not? So I'm going to be using that as a whiteboard topic that you would use for your practice members. I had a couple people email me and ask me about the Facebook Live I did last week on as if you were if I was in practice right now, and it was the 5 steps to beat overwhelm, and I was asked, should they use the PDF that I created? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unless you want to create one of your own, I would just use it. It's still the steps. It's done. I don't think there are any typos. It looks really nice. So just share it, get the details to your practice members, and then hold them accountable on a visit-to-visit basis of how you doing, which step is appropriate for you to take today. So thank you all so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful night, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Brian, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.